Have you ever looked at your child and thought, I love you more than anything, but I am completely overwhelmed right now? And then immediately felt guilty for thinking it? I think a lot of parents raising a child with ADHD, learning differences, big emotions, or nonstop energy may know that feeling. You love your child fiercely. You know how smart, funny, loving, creative, and sensitive they are. But you're also tired. Tired of repeating yourself, tired of the reminders, tired of wondering whether your child is ignoring you, struggling, overwhelmed, or somehow all three at once. So, today I want to talk about what it really feels like to raise a neurodivergent child. Not only the behavior people see from the outside, but the incredible child underneath it. Because our children are not problems to solve. And parents aren't failures because some days feel really hard. From the outside, people may see the child who can't sit still, the child who interrupts, who forgets directions, who gets emotional, distracted, or frustrated more quickly than other kids. But as a parent, you see more. You see their heart, their intelligence, their imagination, their sensitivity. You see how hard they may be trying in a world that often responds by telling them to try harder. A child with ADHD may need more help with everyday things like getting dressed, finding shoes, starting homework, finishing homework, moving from one activity to another, calming down when something doesn't go as expected. And as a parent, it can feel like you're constantly reminding, redirecting, explaining, and trying to stay one step ahead. You can love your child more than anything and still feel drained. Both things can be true. You can appreciate your child and still crave silence. You can feel grateful to be their parent and still need a break. That doesn't make you a bad parent. It makes you human. You have a nervous system too. I think a lot of the shame comes from believing that we should be doing something better. Maybe if we were more patient, more organized, consistent, disciplined, maybe everything would go smoothly. But ADHD is not caused by bad parenting. And a child struggling doesn't mean their parent is failing. Sometimes a child isn't refusing to do something. Sometimes starting is genuinely hard. Sometimes they're not ignoring you, their attention is moved somewhere else. And sometimes what looks like an overreaction is actually a child who has become completely overwhelmed. Understanding that doesn't mean we ignore the behavior. Children still need boundaries, responsibility, and guidance. But understanding what may be happening beneath the behavior can change how we respond. Instead of asking, why are you doing this again? Maybe we pause and ask, what is making this hard right now? Now, the question may not fix everything, but it helps us see a child who's having a hard time instead of a child who's simply giving us a hard time. And that matters. Now, if you're raising more than one child, there can be another layer because one may need more reminders, attention, help regulating, and another child may appear more independent or ask for less. But quieter doesn't mean less important, and independent doesn't mean unaffected. Needing less help doesn't mean needing less connection. And sometimes fairness isn't giving every child the exact same thing. Sometimes fairness means noticing what each child needs. One may need help calming down, and another may need 10 quiet minutes with you before bed. One may need more support at school, another may need you to notice and celebrate something they accomplished. The attention may not always look equal, but every child still needs to feel seen. And if you're raising one child, there may be a different kind of pressure. All your hopes, worries, attention, and expectations may land on that one child. You may wonder whether you're helping too much, pushing too hard, doing too much, or somehow not enough. There's no perfect formula, but one of the most important things we can do is help our children understand themselves, not as difficult children, not as a problem, not as the child who is always being corrected, but as a whole person with strengths and challenges. Because ADHD is not a lack of intelligence. A learning disability is not a lack of potential. And being different doesn't mean being broken. My ADHD child is incredibly smart. She's empathetic. She notices when someone is hurting or being left out. She can be mature in ways that really surprise me. She feels deeply, loves deeply, and sees things other people may miss. And sometimes I think we spend so much time correcting children like her that we forget to appreciate who they already are. We focus on the unfinished homework, the lost water bottle, the messy room, the emotional reaction. But what about their kindness, their creativity, their humor, their resilience? What about the courage it takes to keep trying when things that seem easy for other children feel difficult for them? Our children need to know that needing support doesn't make them a burden. They need to know that struggling in one area does not erase all the places where they shine. They need to know they're not bad children just because certain things are harder for them. There are practical things that can help: simple routines, visual reminders, warnings before transitions, breaking tasks into smaller steps, offering choices, creating opportunities for movement. But our children also need moments of connection that have nothing to do with correcting them. Because children do not only need to be managed, they need to feel enjoyed. That might look like laughing together, sitting beside them while they draw, listening while they tell you every detail about something they love, or putting your phone down and giving them a few minutes of your full attention. Those moments remind them that we do not only notice them when something goes wrong. And when we mess up, and we will, it's about repair. The goal is not perfection. The goal is coming back, apologizing, reconnecting, and reminding our children that one difficult moment does not change the relationship. Maybe raising a child with ADHD is not about making them fit more neatly into the world. Maybe it's about helping them understand how their mind works, giving them the tools they need, and making sure they never confuse being different with being less. Our children don't need us. Our children do not need us to fix everything. They need us to see them, to guide them without shaming them, to support them without making them feel incapable. And above all, they need to hear this: you're not too much. You're not broken. You're not the problem that needs to be fixed. You're intelligent, valuable, and deeply loved. Some things may be harder for you, but there's also so much within you that the world needs. And I hope that as parents, we can look beyond the difficult moments long enough to see the extraordinary child standing right in front of us. Thank you so much for listening to Life and Bullshit. I'm Janine. I'll talk to you next time.